Hello, hello, Aldwyn, Altuney here at Media Queen TV. We have some amazing artists with us here in the room. We have the amazing Nasrin Vaziri, we have Gayle, Reichelt, we have Helen, Holmes, and we have Nafiseh Ebrahim, shortened for the full name, which is very hard to pronounce. So
I know,
Nafiseh Ebrahim with us, the beautiful ladies. These are actually some of the artists that are involved in the Women in Conversation group exhibition that is going to be launched at the One Arts Gallery on the Gold Coast on March 6th, along with two other artists who were not able to join us today. We have Glennys Briggs, who want to do a shout out for her, and also for Inessa Ivascanin, who also is one of the artists in this amazing exhibition of 20 artworks. And it is at One Arts Gallery, which is actually at Isle of Capri. You've probably driven past it a million times. A lot of people have, and not always aware. It's right there in the park opposite the Isle of Capri shops. And this is celebrating Queensland Women's Week from March 3 to 13, and also International Women's Day on March 8. It is a unique multicultural community group arts exhibition, and it's been put together by the amazing Nasrin from Gold Coast Multicultural Arts Group in collaboration, which is a phenomenal organisation, been going for 20 years now. So I'd love to chat with you firstly, Nasrin, about how this whole exhibition came about.
Okay, thank you very much, Aldwyn. I take this opportunity and say hi to everybody with full respect, with the artists who have accepted our invitation and participate in the exhibition. Is not only my work, and I am the representative of the organization, but behind me is a very strong team of committee, seven member of the committee, and is not only my work. I should acknowledge them as well. So Gold Coast Multicultural Arts Group Committee, who are 7 people from different fields, and we work very much, on the law and regulation, and we have bi-monthly meeting, and we have minute report and everything. So welcoming the artists, and I thank all of you to join us, and also say hi to the audience. Gold Coast Magic was Gold Coast Multicultural Arts Group was initiated in November 2000, and via the consultation with the local council and the Ministry for Art in that time from state government. And we have done a lot of, we have done various artworks and community art, I can say. I should say that using the term of multicultural is not about that just because some people says that, we are not multicultural. No, this is not true. We all have culture, and when we share, we are multicultural. So this is not about that someone was about the birthplace or having speaking second language. Is not about this one. And actually, the artists are advanced people in the society, and they break the borders like language, like race, and usually are intellectual of this social intellectual. And the other things that we have had some books, published book. We have had theme exhibitions, always themed exhibition, and we have in a different galleries that this time we are having in One Art, but in November, for example, we are going to have in Robina Arts Gallery, and last year we had mask exhibition in the foyer of the Gold Coast University Hospital, which is a very good open gallery to people, and that so many people visit there. And I leave that artists talk about themselves, and I just say I'm one of the artists of this group, and I'm going to have 2 paintings, 2 new paintings, and a number of ceramic pomegranates, which is my expertise to making them. and I will be one of the artists for the International Women's Day celebration of International Women's Day, which is our annual event on the Gold Coast, and we have guest of honors in arts, we have guest of honors in business, we have leadership, woman from leadership, and also we have Miss Australia World Ambassador, and also is an open area for people to open this discussion. People can introduce their works, and there is no limitation. And the good news is we have a Solgan, who is the Latin American singer, and she will be with us and do some entertainment for us and also refreshment. And we would love to have people in that program.
Wonderful, wonderful. And, you know, we're saying that Magic's been going now for 20 years, longer than a lot of marriages, right? And for something to go that long, Nasrin, obviously you're very passionate about it. So where did your passion for the arts come from?
I think, I mean, people have different reasons for practicing arts. I use arts as a tool of communication and social connection. As a migrant, come from non-English speaking background, so verbal language has could not fulfill my self-expression. This is why I use arts to express myself and also to communicate, and also being in a field of art, connecting with artists and have a lot of common talk and ideas. And in duration, I studied and I experienced setting up the organizations. And Gold Coast Magic is not the only organization I initiated in Queensland, and also make myself familiar with funding by the different levels of government, and identifying the gap in for the local artists. And this is how we organize and we plan the projects and events.
Fantastic. And you have really done some brilliant projects over the years, including a mosaic at the Gold Coast Botanic Gardens, which I was involved in way back in the day, with 699 ceramic pieces that is still looking fantastic at the Gold Coast Botanic Gardens, called Quilt of Diversity. So if you go down there on Ashmore Road, you will see that. And then we've got Lullabies was another fantastic project. In fact, we have quite a few of them listed in our press release, which I'll put the link in a second. So that's Lullabies is in 23 languages, including a CD, book, and YouTube video clip. And then a lot of theme art exhibitions and cultural events that you've done, which has just been wonderful. Also Bittersweet, a book of diverse women's voices. These are just some of the amazing projects that you have done in that time. So congratulations, Nasrin, on the fantastic work you've done and that you keep on doing. And I love seeing all the artists come through, and we've got some of them here. I know Helen just popped off for a second. Hopefully she'll be back to join us. I know she was having a few internet problems, so hopefully we can get her back on. So in the meantime, let's go over to Gayle. I'd love to chat with you next, Gayle. A little bit about your background and how did you come across magic?
Well, I've been painting for more than 40 years. You know, I've been painting a very long time. I started when I lived in Aldwyn in New South Wales, and I went to uni at La Trobe University in Bendigo and did a fine art and then a honours degree and a teaching degree. And over the years, I've covered many different styles. I started off with realism, but of course, when you go to uni, they teach you to experiment. So I have experimented a lot. I was doing encaustic for many years, and then I was doing resin, which the works I've got in this exhibition are resin, and I was doing acrylic pour as well. But I stopped doing that because in 2019 I got tongue cancer, which is why I've got a lisp now, because I had part of my tongue cut off. But I'm well now. I'm over the cancer. Wow. But I didn't paint for a few more years after that, and now I'm doing more realist work again. but I've got a lot of resin works that I did before I got the cancer, and that's what I'm having in this exhibition.
May I say something about
Wow.
Gayle? I'm a student of Gayle. I have been in her workshops, and
Yes.
I learn a lot about her works. And to me, I have a very good experience with Gayle because she's very generous in teaching people, and also it's really I was one of the best workshops. I mean, the workshops I had with her was one of the best, and I learn about resin, and also later I catch up with her and I ask her if she helped me to find the material. She's very generously gave the information. And um, acrylic pouring is one of the area that I really enjoy working on that. And
Yeah.
initially, and it's inspiring me for new works. Thank you,
Yeah.
Gayle.
Okay. No, thank you. Yeah, that's how I
wonderful.
met Nasrin. She came to one of my workshops, yeah, or a couple of my workshops.
Ah. And where do you hold those workshops?
I was holding them here at my home. I've got a studio here, but I'm not doing workshops anymore. Since I had cancer, I just stopped teaching, and I now just painting for myself. I'm mainly using oils now, and sometimes watercolor. Yeah, so
Oils
yeah,
and watercolor. And what suburb are you in?
I'm in Talai or Mudgery.
Ah, beautiful. Nice
Yeah,
area.
yeah, it is nice.
Yes,
Yeah,
we've done a few workshops over the years with Midge, haven't we, in the Mudgery area over the years with the ceramic workshops. I don't know if she's still doing that out there, but beautiful, beautiful part of the Gold Coast.
yeah, it is
Wonderful,
nice.
Gayle.
Yeah. It's 20
That's great.
minutes.
And so, yeah, 30 minutes from anything's fantastic.
Yeah.
And so oils and watercolors, do you have a preference out of those two?
Probably oil because I've been doing that longest. Yeah, mostly I work in oil these days. Yeah, but I do use watercolor as well. Yeah, yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. We might come back to your tips on how to do good oils and watercolors in a minute as a teacher. That's the thing. We're all teachers and we're all students, aren't we? We can all learn something from each other.
Yeah. Well, I
And,
still
and that's
yeah.
Yes, you still what? Sorry, I missed that.
I still go to some workshops from different artists because I enjoy going to workshops and learning from different artists. You never stop learning.
Yeah, nice. No, we never learn less, as they say. Never learn less. And even if you can pick up a few techniques, and when you do something like art, what I've found, I absolutely love artwork. For me, it's been very therapeutic, and there is something called art therapy. Yes. And for me, when I'm doing artwork, time disappears. Like I could be involved in a painting and 5 hours could go just like that, and it feels like 5 minutes. And I think when you do something where time and space disappears, it's actually energetically, you are actually in your heart chakra, and it means that you're loving what you do. And I think this is one of the beautiful things about art. It is so good for mental health, right? It is so good to elevate your vibration as a human being. Particularly if you feel depression or you're feeling down in any way, getting creative is a fantastic way to make yourself feel better, right? Because we're all unique in our approach to being creative. And I know that's a big part of this exhibition too, is actually addressing these kind of social issues, which we'll come back to, because I'm very interested. This is obviously a very big topic right now. Through COVID, we've actually got 4 times the rate of suicide than we had before COVID, right? So there's a lot of depressed people. There's a lot of people not coping so well at the moment. And if they did some artwork, they may actually feel a whole lot better about themselves, and they're creating something that they can be proud of, right?
Yes.
So wonderful work you're doing. And Nafiseh, or Nafis, Nafis,
I know,
good to see you
Nafis
there.
is fine.
Nafis.
Thanks for having me here. It's lovely meeting all of you. So a bit about myself. I'm doing painting for about 20 years from when I was little. I had a very excellent art teacher that I'm proud of him. Well, I was living in Iran. I was living in Shiraz. So I had an art teacher, Saeed Gholami, and he was actually very strict in the way he was teaching us. I remember whenever I went to a session, I had to have 50 sketches ready. So he was actually count them.
50
Like,
sketches ready in how much time?
Like for a week. So I had him for every week. So I had to have 50 sketches ready. So he is sure that I did enough practice. So I was working with him for about,
Wow.
for a long time. And then I remember like I had a couple of years just I was allowed to use a pencil, not any colors. And then he let me use 2 colors. And so in that way, I was like learning how to use the colors and theory of the colors. So I'm very glad to have him. I'm still in touch with him. He checked my artwork in my Instagram and write comments, which it really makes me, oh my God, he still likes my artwork. I haven't studied art at university. So I did a lot of degrees, but not art. So mostly finance and accounting. But I've always been in touch with artwork. Like I had some art galleries back home. And when I came here, I had one art gallery, but I used to sell my artwork in a cafe, like a local cafe where I used to live. But now at the moment I study accounting in Australia, but I had some art sessions just because my friends, they asked me to have some workshops. So I did have some workshops, but at the moment I'm running Pinot and Picasso. If you guys heard about it, like paint and sip.
Oh, I have heard about that.
Did you? Yeah.
Yes.
It's a kind of fun.
Drinking and drawing. Drinking and drawing is another way to say Pinot and Picasso.
I know. No, perhaps that's right. It's a very good company to work for. I really enjoy it. And the idea of this company is like everyone is a Picasso. It's just about releasing your inner Picasso. That's what it helps them to do. And we've got a great artist, and I really enjoy working for them. Yeah. Is that
wonderful?
Is that good?
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And these 50 sketches in 1 week. What were you sketching in that time?
Oh, well, anything. You just need to turn around like any vase or glasses or like fruits or whatever, trees. It doesn't matter. It have to be 50 sketches. And he was very
wow. It sounds like a baptism of sounds like a baptism of fire there, Nafiseh. It sounds like you went straight in there.
I know it was. But the thing is, I started doing art very classic and realistic, and then we moved on to abstract. So I'm not really into, like, I can work oil or watercolor, but it's not about the material for me, which one I'm using. It's about the one that is the closest to me because I need to paint right now. So I can start using acrylic and then I grab some watercolor and mix it in. It's like I mix every possible things that I feel like I need to release this. And then when it's stop, I just stop. So it's not like I've got a decision what to paint with. So I start and then I feel like now I need to move to use something else in this painting. So very unplanned.
Very free-flowing.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and there's so many different ways to do artwork and so many things that we can do artwork about. As you say, look around, you can, draw your environment, draw, some people love to do faces, some people like to do flowers,
Exactly.
people have their sort of preferred things that they do. And I remember one artist many years ago with me, he said, just start on a blank piece of paper and he said, just do a squiggle, just do it's like close your eyes and just do a squiggle. And then look at it and then create a picture from the squiggle.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
And so that was one method that was a great way to get the creativity flowing, See what you see in the squiggle.
I remember when I was little, we had a stone in our house and you see a lot of lines in it. And I used to just sit and try to figure out like what it looked like or connect these things together. And and it happens in the artwork. Like you start doing painting and when it's finished, you feel like, you try to find out what happened and you might like, I can see a lady here or
yes,
you can come up with a story after you actually finish your artwork and it's surprising.
Yeah, and sometimes, when I was doing a lot of artwork, I haven't done any lately, but when I was doing a lot of artwork and I just started with a blank canvas, I would often draw big pointy eyes. And we had some of these in some of the GC Magic exhibitions, had some of these paintings that I did over the years. But often I would start with these big sort of eyes like this, big sort of, and people would say it looks like an alien, like these big eyes and then a little nose and the mouth and sort of like a big head. And for some reason, this same type of picture kept coming to me all the time, and it was almost like connecting with other dimensions. It was quite a free-flowing sort of almost like a spiritual experience. So I'd love to hear from you ladies. Do you feel sometimes when you're doing artwork that it feels a bit like a spiritual experience? Maybe back to you, Nasrin, on this one.
Yes, of course, because art comes not always from the mind. As Nafis said, is unplanned most of the time. I personally don't decide what I'm going to do or draw. It's it took a long time that I break the borders of realism and actually get power to pass the standard. And now I work collage and I really enjoy because give me freedom. But at the same time, I really have highly respect for the artists who are doing the works in the standard frame. Perhaps I have never been a good artist as they are. So, as I said, I use the art as a tool of communication, and I find that collage and mixed media actually is better for me than for self-expression, and definitely is related to the spirituality and spirit, and your feeling is less logical. But I learned from one of the artists or art history that if you want to be a good artist, you have to learn the method, the standard. As Picasso was not born as the Cubism artist, he was doing realism. All of the famous artists, as far as the history said, they practice the realism, and then when they learn about the objects and details, then they created a new chapter in arts.
Yeah, I agree.
Nice,
because it just gives you that the base, the theory, how to use the tool, but you get to the level that now you want to express yourself. But in that way, they all come to you like naturally. You use that knowledge behind that just expression artwork, which people feel like, oh, that's a messy kind of artwork. Like it doesn't look like artwork, but it is. And the other thing that really helps is then you don't have any fear, like you are yourself. And I feel like if you feel like scared of something, like I'm using like this material and that fear, you can see in your artwork and you're not happy with it. Yeah. So
yeah, interesting. It's very subjective. Some people look at one artwork and they love it, and someone else will look at it and go, what the hell is that?
I know.
So it's a very interesting thing, the whole art world, right? And and like sometimes people pay a fortune for splashes on a bit of canvas, splash paint across the canvas. So it's interesting, how artwork has different values for different people depending how they're seeing that, which I guess is part of the beautiful creativity about it.
That's right.
And Gayle, how's your experience? Do you feel it's a spiritual experience for you as well when you're doing artwork?
I guess it is, yeah. You do lose yourself when you start to paint. I usually start early in the morning, and I'll keep going all day. Sometimes I even forget to have lunch, and I'll keep going. And my husband will eventually come in and say, "It's dark outside."
Yes.
It's just one of those things you do get lost into it. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
the trick to life. I think that's the trick to life. Find something you're passionate about where
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
disappears and do as much of that as possible. And,
Absolutely.
as individuals, we are 1 in a billion just by being born, right? We beat about 1 billion swimmers to get to the finish line. So we all have a unique expression about us, and not one artwork will ever be completely the same. Even if you stencil, if you copy a stencil and then work from that, it's still not going to be exactly the same, right? When you look
Never.
at the detail and right. So every artwork is unique, which is beautiful. And what I love about this particular exhibition, Women in Conversation, is that this is actually it's actually giving women a voice and encouraging them also to stand up for their rights and to raise voices against gender discrimination. As much as we love men in our lives, right, this particular one is tying in with the Queensland Women's Week from March 3 to 13 and International Women's Day on March 8. And women are incredibly powerful. And unfortunately, over time, they have been very suppressed. Women have been suppressed in many different cultures around the world. And now I believe what's happening is that women are rising, right? The divine feminine is rising. Women are coming together, collaborating. What we're seeing out in the media world, and I've worked as a journalist for many years in the media world, we're seeing a lot of media programming that is happening, right? We're seeing a lot of brainwashing. We're seeing a lot of having people live in fear, a lot of divide and rule, right? So what's actually happening by the powers that be right now is that we're seeing division. We're seeing, whatever your choices are, we're seeing a lot of division. And one beautiful thing about women is they come together beautifully and work together. And it's coming together in love. And I think this is really what we need now more than ever in the world, is we need people coming together in harmony, whether it's men or women. However, women give so much generally for their families, for their children, for others around them, and they often don't give to themselves. And I think a great way that women can give to themselves is through artwork and expressing their own creativity. So Nasrin, you've been doing events now with International Women's Day, or around this time, for quite a few years now. So can you share a little bit more about why this is so important to you to celebrate International Women's Day and Queensland Women's Week?
Obviously, I didn't initiate it, International Women's Day and Queensland Women Week, but I enjoy it because provide women a platform that to show their ability, capabilities, and solidarity. And this is not against. It's not about not against men, I can say, but solidarity with each other. And arts, I believe, that has greater meaning sometimes for women, because especially in these days we work with women to empower them through creativity, that stand for themselves, especially vulnerable people or victims of domestic violence, or people with mental health issues. We believe that through the experiences by academic and other people in the field, we believe that creativity can be a solution or kind of prevention. This is why we are using. So art is not just, is long time that art is not just for the matter of purpose of beauties. Is it has many things in that. And yes, this is why we we hold International Women's Day. And also, I like to add that the other artists who are missed in this conversation, they are all very established artists. These particular exhibitions has been focused on established artists, because sometimes we have emerging artists as well. But all of the artists, perhaps except me, they are established artists. Helen Holmes is one of the really one of the best local artists, and she does contemporary and abstract, and her paintings are very talkable. So it's full of messages, full of interpretation. And also for Inessa, I studied her works. I am amazed. I am very amazed how she can do the straight lights, so many straight lights and with details. She is actually more about the as a migrant artist, the under the influence of the local and the geography and the environment that she lives. This is my interpretation of her work. And also Glennys, who is the First Nation artist. She's very famous. She's a singer as well as she's a dress designer and a painter. And she will have two prints. She moved to do prints from a few years ago that I attended to one of her workshops as well. And Gayle said about her art, but I like again, I added that what I was impressed with acrylic pouring workshops that Gayle conducted to me was accident art. I appreciate accident art. So you like life, like destiny. You cannot plan for everything. So art is life. So when I look at that, I didn't know what I expect. When I look at Gay's painting, I was thinking how she planned this one, why this color, how they mix to each other. And but when although I'm not reducing the experience and expertise and professionalism of artists, definitely this come back to their background, professional background. But I was amazed when I saw that how the colors went together and create one object. And accident art is really, really is the area that I like. I don't talk about Nafis because
I
I
talk too much.
yeah, no, because
No.
I'm familiar with the Nafis art actually recently, but I could see inspiration from the young artist and the
I'm not so
freedom which
young.
yeah freedom which is really really important. So sometimes you look at the art piece and you feel that it's tight. My previous arts was like that. I did it fine art, but when I look at them, I knew that is something miss, and the missing was freedom. I was not free when I worked. I
That's
was
right.
working because I wanted people judge on them. But
That's right.
recently, no, it's just me,
That's
and
right.
I can say I invite the audience come to the exhibition and see different range of arts and artists and see how colorful and beautiful our society is with local artists.
Fantastic, Nasrin. Thank you so much. And great shout out to the other artists in the Women in Conversation exhibition, which is launching at One Arts in Isle of Capri on the Gold Coast on March 6th. And it will be from 3 till 7 p.m. Is that correct, Nasrin?
Yes, we start actually, we say 4, but then it was changed to 3. But from 3, we will be there. And
Okay.
the address is 13 Verona Avenue, Surface Paradise. Because people put the address in the GPS. So if they put Isle of Capri, does not bring them there. Is a Surface Paradise, the suburb. And also we are open, artists join us, registered with us for future. We have started art craft production. And also a good news is that um, we have been funded for online gallery. So very soon we will have online gallery for the artists who are member. We don't have membership, I mean financial membership. We don't want push people to pay and become a member, but just a form of registration that we know how many artists we have, which field of arts they work, and they do activities, so we inform them about the projects we are going to have. we have a full year of projects, 2022.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. I'd love to hear more about those towards the end of the interview. That's amazing what you're up to, Nasrin. Well done on that. Now, I want to come back to this conversation of accidental art. So over to you, Gayle, now on this one. So what does that mean exactly for those who don't quite understand what that means, accident art?
Well, I call it spontaneous art or intuitive art. You know, you choose colours that you like, and well, with acrylic pour and resin, you just choose. I used to always, I tell people to have around about 6 colours, usually including white, but not always. And you put with the you put different colours in different cups. Mix it with the resin. You know, you have the pigments you mix with the resin, and you just pour it on in a spontaneous fashion, and it just comes out. And you tilt your board. You know, you tilt the board up and down. You know, in all different ways to make the paint appear. You know, go into different directions, and you just keep going until you run out of resin colours, or until you find something you like, you know. And I call it spontaneous, I think, or
Spontaneous.
intuitive. Probably intuitive is
Nice.
even better. Yeah, a better word. Yeah,
intuitive. And colour therapy is a whole thing as well. You know, colour therapy, if you think of, you know, the chakra points in the body.
I guess it is, yeah. I've been painting a very long time, and I've had formal training, so in that time I've learnt a lot about colour. But, you know, so I guess that to me, I don't have to think about it. I just know what colours go together, you know, because I've been an artist for so long, more than 40 years. So, you know,
Exactly.
you just know.
And it's amazing. Yeah, amazing with some paintings. There's so many different colours, but they work really well together sometimes too.
They do.
So
They do.
I know.
That's the beauty of acrylic pour and resin, is that you can put all different sorts of colours together and get amazing results. Yeah.
Yeah.
fantastic. Well, it's a shame you're not doing your workshops anymore, Gayle, because I think you'd have a few clients that would be very interested to work with you on that. So maybe, you know, when and if you do get them up again, we'd love to hear about it. Okay. So keep us posted on that, Gayle. That'd be fantastic. Now, I want to hear what of these 20 artworks. We've got 20 artworks in this exhibition. So I'd love to hear now, Nafiseh, from you. What have you got in the exhibition?
Yeah, I've got around 10, I suppose. And they're all very different. So I do have some abstract. I think I do have one collage, and then the rest are mostly mixed media. And yeah, there are a couple that it's about women, and well, it's that I was releasing some of my emotion, and you know that people are in different stage of life. They experience different emotions, and as artists, we're glad that we can show that emotion. And I do have some artworks that they are really showing the Middle East kind of culture, and I actually use some texture in my artwork that they are actually the material from my own city back home. So I use some clay, some sand, some fabric in one of my artwork, and I mix them. That I really love that artwork, and it's hard for me to sell my artwork because it's kind of part of me. And the other thing that is hard for me is putting price on my artwork, because I feel like if someone likes my artwork, I'm happy for them to have my artwork. It's not about the price. And it's funny because I did accounting and finance, and it should be kind of like make more sense for me to put the price, but I can't. Like I always put a very low price on my artwork. And when I was selling one of my artwork to someone who was like a director, and she really liked my artwork, and I was like, yeah, you can have this for this price. And she said, why it's so cheap? And I was like, I like you to have it. It's not about the price. And so yeah, she said like, you're too weird. Like, okay. So
Uh,
she found it quite interesting that I can't.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Even
get it. I get it because I had the same issue with my when I was doing artwork too. I very hard to put a price on it, and some of them
I
I
know.
just had not for sale because I was so attached to this artwork.
That's right.
It's lovely. You've obviously got a beautiful heart, Nafis, to
I know.
give your
Oh,
artwork
thanks.
away and and to do it at a low price. Some people might say, "Oh, you're not valuing yourself." Some
I
people might
know.
say that, right?
I know
So
that's a hard line between like you as an artist. They are your artwork. They are part of yourself. And when it goes for as a business, you feel like I don't want much money from people to have this. I appreciate for them to have my artwork. So I always like try to put the very low price on, which might seem as a is it valuable? Like why it's the pricing doesn't really make sense. Um, I'm happy to be part of the exhibition, and the variety of my different artworks. It's it's too different, but I like them all together. And thanks, Nasrin, for having me in
that's
this
fine.
art gallery.
Yeah, I'd like to add
yeah.
something about the pricing of artworks. Materials, which materials the artists use is really affect the price. And also, when we started Gold Coast Magic Multicultural Arts Group, we say in that time in our committee, we say that arts is a job for some people, for the most of the artists. So is a some artists, many artists are breadwinners for their home, and they live on their selling their
That's
arts.
right.
So this is why the artists. We work also with the majority of artists are those who, you know, work for sale. They love their artworks definitely, but they are producer of arts like crafts, like any other job, and is a job for artists. This is why we really try to say to the society that arts is not just hobby, is
No.
is a job
It's
for
a
many
job.
people. And it's interesting when I face the definition of professional artist. I always thought that professional artist means that the people who have they know technique and they are professional. And then with through Arts Queensland, I find that the definition for professional artists are those who make life out of the arts. It means that they are full-time artists. They are not.
Yeah.
They are not teacher and artist. They are not. Could be teacher and artist. Could be designer and artist. But they all of their activities are in the art field. Um, the field of art. This is why, yes, this is all affect the pricing, and I want to emphasize about the materials they use. I worked with an artist here in Australia. Actually, he was a migrant artist. I learned from him a lot, and he really spent time and effort for making his canvas. So he never
Yeah.
bought canvas from the shop. And then I also paid him to make 2 3 canvases for me. And when I worked on those canvases, I find that how are different. So
Ah,
different that you work on a quality canvas or not, or working with quality material or not. Especially for here with UV. So I know artists that they put a layer anti UV at the before they work, and then top of their work, which costs, and if they want to have a good material, cost. But sometimes, as Nafi said, you artists make the relationship with their artworks, and they don't want, some of them, they don't want to sell it, some of their arts, or they want to give it to someone as a gift. That one is different. But
That's right.
art has price. Any kind of art, singing, dancing, music, craft
Good.
art, painting, all they have prices. So, but at the same time, if someone like Nafis wanted to give her art as a gift, it doesn't mean that has no value. You know, she is she wanted to do that, but I emphasize again, um ours has actually has a price. I don't usually I have a collection of women or paintings about women. This is my private collection. I don't usually sell them. So that is me, is my decision. But I do some artworks which I sell them, and uh, you know I enjoy of selling them.
And it's nice to know someone else is enjoying a creation that you've made, which is wonderful. So, you made a really good point there, because some artist materials can be quite costly, right? They can be. So, how do you know what the quality ones are versus the not quality ones? How can you tell? And this is a question for anyone here. How do you know?
I think Gayle answered this one.
What are you
Gayle.
talking about, materials or artists?
Yes, materials. How do you know quality materials?
Oh, well, there is artist quality materials and there's student quality materials. You can art supplies, and I consider myself a professional artist because I paint a lot and I do sell my work. And I buy artist quality materials, so everything is very expensive. It's I don't use cheap materials because the student quality, it may not last as long. If I sell a work, I want to have the work, what I put into it, to be quality. That is then it's not going to disintegrate in a year or so. I want it to last for years. Yeah.
Yes. So what brands are good, for example, like for people that don't know much about art? I mean, one canvas probably looks much like another canvas. I mean, how do you know the quality ones versus the not quality ones?
Well, I use a number of different brands of say, paints, for instance. Winsor and Newton is a one that's been around for a long time. It's English. There's one called Art Spectrum, which is an Australian one, I'm pretty sure. And I use also Langridge. It's Langridge. It's a Melbourne-based company, and I really like their paints because I find they're very creamy and a really nice texture, just lovely to work with. But I don't know. There are other brands as well, but they're mainly the ones that I use. But you just know, and you develop a relationship with the person that you deal with in the art shop as well. And usually they're very knowledgeable about the art supplies. But art, like a tube of oil paint, for instance, will have on it whether it's artist quality or student quality. I mean, some student quality, I'm not saying student quality is not any good. It just may not last as long as the artist quality one.
Got it. And with canvases, is there certain thicknesses to look out for, or how can you tell with the canvas that it's quality?
Oh, yes, there is. Linen is the most expensive. I haven't actually painted on linen yet. I'd like to. It's the most expensive. But yeah, I do buy. I buy my canvases already stretched. But when I was at uni, I did learn how to make my own stretches and to stretch my own canvas and to put my own primers on it and all that. But these days it's just probably not time effective. It's easy for me to buy ready-made materials, and usually mine is cotton, and it's got an acrylic gesso over it. When I was at uni, when we did our own, we used rabbit skin glue as a sealer. It's a sort of an ancient
Wow.
That's what they used to use years ago. You know, but it's you've got to make it. Usually, you've got to make it up, and it's a fairly long process to make it up. It depends on whether you like making them yourself or not. You know, some artists really enjoy the process of making their own pigments and stretching their own canvas and all that sort of thing. And others don't, prefer to buy the ones that are already done, you know, already made, and they know they're getting the quality that the good quality, and I just for me personally, because I sell my work, I like to make sure that it's artist quality.
Yeah, especially when you're putting, you know, your time into it, which, you know, time is one resource that we do have a limited supply of, right? We all have, you know, so many years on the planet. So our time is so valuable. So if you're going to be putting your heart and your soul and your time into the artwork, you want to make sure that it's going to last, because you're leaving a legacy with every artwork you're doing. Now, you mentioned rabbit skin glue. Now, I'm a massive animal lover, so I hope that no rabbits were harmed in the making of the rabbit skin glue. I've never actually heard of rabbit skin glue before.
I would be.
Is it actually from? It is from rabbit skins.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. So hopefully dead rabbits. Hopefully the rabbits were already dead before they use their skin as rabbit skin glue.
Yeah. I don't use that anymore. But when, you know, that was one of the process of learning. Is that you sort of learn all these different. Well, years ago, before 200 or 300 years ago, they didn't have art shops. People, artists, they had to make their own materials. I used encaustic for a number of years, which is painting with beeswax, and you melt the beeswax down and put Daymar resin with it, and you make. You know, there's a long process in making your encaustic mediums too. You know, I'm not doing that anymore now. I have got a lot of resin pieces still that are available. They're on my website, but that was enjoyable. But see, resin, encaustic's been around for over 2,000 years. The Egyptians used to paint with resin, and the mummies in the esophagus, they often had portraits on the front, and they were often made with encaustic. And there's some that are still available and in museums and things that are over 2,000 years old. Yeah, and they didn't have commercial pigments like we did. They have to use natural pigments, earth pigments, and things from nature. Yeah.
This is why that they can stay in museum for centuries, you know, because they came from the natural sources. I heard that I read somewhere that they use the eggs for protection.
Egg temperature is another medium. Egg tempera. I haven't actually used that. I've read about it and that, but it's not
amazing.
That would be egg yolk, I think. Pretty sure.
Yeah, I've been in quite a few Aboriginal. Sorry, I missed that, Gayle. What was the last thing you said?
It would be egg yolk.
I think it just. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I sort of lost the sound then for a minute.
Egg yolk.
Egg yolk, yeah.
Egg yolk, yeah. Internet's cuts in and out with the egg yolk. Right, fascinating. I was just going to say I have been at quite a few Aboriginal and Indigenous ceremonies over time, and it always amazes me the red and yellow ochres, etc., the pigments that the Indigenous people use, the clay tinted with mineral oxides that they use to paint rocks, wood, the ground, and their bodies. And it's amazing, you know, these natural materials, it actually feels quite good on your body. And, you know, back in the day, I guess they used materials from nature, you know. Which is wonderful. So, Gayle, what sort of artwork have you got in the
exhibition?
Just getting a little delay there. What was that?
In this exhibition, I've got resin artwork. My resin artwork.
Resin artwork.
That's
Oh, nice. Some resin artwork.
Yeah.
Okay. And
That's spontaneous, intuitive art.
nice. And any particular meanings of your artwork that you're putting across? Any messages?
Really, no, it's just I had a love of colour, and I loved seeing how colours interact with each other. I think some of my oil paintings that I'm doing now, my realist ones, have more meaning in them because, like for instance, I do a lot of homesteads and farms and homesteads because I love the Australian landscape, and I love homesteads and farms and things like that. I grew up in the country area, and my grandparents had a farm which I loved, and I think those works probably have more meaning for me than the resin work, which the resin work to me is spontaneous and fun.
Got it. And which part of the country were you from? Which part of the country were you from?
I was from Yarram in Victoria, in South Gippsland. Yeah, I came from, that's where I was born. Yeah.
Ah, nice. And of course, Melbourne is known, for those who aren't from Australia, Melbourne is known as the centre of the arts in Australia. Yeah. However, I must say, we have a lot of Melbourne people here on the Gold Coast now. And Sydney people as well. A lot of people.
That's right. Well, I lived in Melbourne for a long time too. I've travelled around a bit, but I went to uni in Bendigo. That was sort of in central Victoria. And, so I've travelled around a bit. I lived in Deniliquin, which is on the border of New South Wales and Victoria. I lived there for 20 years. And that's where I started painting. And that was where I was doing my homesteads and farms and landscapes. But I mean, I've done portraits.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Beautiful. There's definitely a charm about the Australian landscape.
Yeah.
There's a charm about the Australian landscape.
I will have an exhibition.
That is beautiful. And Nafis, back to you again. Now, you were saying, are you going to have an exhibition?
I'm going to have an exhibition later on either this year.
You'll have an exhibition? Were you saying, Gayle?
On my traditional landscape and farm works eventually. Yeah, I will. Yeah.
Nice. Fantastic. That will be great. I'll look forward to that one, Gayle. Brilliant.
Yeah.
So hopefully you'll keep us updated in the GC Magic website or on the Facebook page. It'd be great to actually keep updated with what artists are doing in future. I'll just pop the website here for GC Magic to find out about all their upcoming events, etc. And Nafis, you were saying about the feeling in your paintings, right? So I'm interested, is there a certain messaging with your artwork that is in the Women in Conversation exhibition at the moment? Do you have any special meanings as such?
Yeah, there are. But again, in any artworks, people see it so different, which is like, I don't really start my artwork with a meaning behind or a purpose behind. I start the artwork and the knowledge and the feeling and the colors comes after. And I found when I finish my artwork, people who comes and visit the artwork, they try to make a story, which I love to hear. And the story that you hear from different visitors, they are so different. So they can express something from my artwork that it's based on their life or their feeling or their emotion that might be quite different to what I see from my artwork. So I didn't try to give a specific message to people, but I'm sure that people would come up with their own understanding of the painting. But what some of them are quite kind of like
their own. Yes,
some of them it's easy to get the message straight away because they are more of a classic and realistic to start with. But there are a lot abstract that again the story behind it's not very clear to everyone. So
Got it. So up to interpretation. So let's see what people think when they come to the exhibition.
I know.
I must
and
say,
then I can
two of my
listen to them.
favorite artists. Yes, you can hear what they have to say. Yeah, let's just see what
Exactly.
you see in this painting, right? So now, two of my favorite all-time artists. One is Salvador Dali, and one is Frida Kahlo.
Yes.
And Frida Kahlo, I don't know if you've seen the movie Frida, but she is extraordinary. And Salvador Dali, I love that sort of surrealism. I love that kind of work. And, I can look at some of those paintings that some of these artists have done. I can just look at them for ages and see so much in it, It's just so beautiful to just lose yourself in the artwork.
That's
and
right.
Nasrin, what about your paintings that are in the exhibition? What are yours representing?
My paintings are related to women. So one of them is the new expression, new experience that I made it through collage, and is actually the name of it is Women in Conversation. So it's 5 women in different gesture and position, and but they also have some comment in the design. So, and the other one is that because I work on pomegranates, so at the moment, ceramic pomegranates is my art and my business as well. So it's uh, recently the women in my paintings, all they have pomegranates. So it's related to woman and pomegranates. So this is mine, and I should add something that in the press release I gave you, the information was 20 artworks, but now is 26 artworks in the exhibition. So it's 26. Yeah. Anyway, you will have full house of. I mean, the whole of the
26.
gallery would be full. Yeah. But definitely different in different sizes.
Fantastic. And art. Yeah, got it. That'll be fantastic. And it is a beautiful space there at One Arts, with a lovely park around it. So there's street parking, plenty of parking in the area, so it's easy to get in and out of that venue. And we've got in the press release too, arts and creativity make a great impact on social issues like domestic violence, racism, and mental health. So we touched on that earlier with art therapy. And how does it impact, Nasrin, domestic violence and racism? How does it help impact that?
As I said, creativity.
With art and creativity.
Creativity or practicing creativity makes people empower. Because when we want to say, this is just my interpretation, we say God is a creator. God creates us. So it means that we give all the power to God created us. So it means that creativity linked with power. So instead of we giving the fish to the people and say, okay, these are some solution for you, that if you are under domestic violence, or if you are isolated and you are suffer from nostalgic or kind of mental health, go to that home, to that house, to that organization. We find a solution is that we make people empower to stand for themselves, make them decision maker for their life. This is why we link creativity and art to social issues. So our slogan now is creativity for community awareness through the artworks about women, about children, about the stories on, individual stories about the isolation or something. This is one angle of our activity. The other is find solution for the social issue, and that definitely link with creativity and arts. So we want to say that the art and creativity come together anyway, has positive impact on the life of people and society. So because when we say, when we say arts group, for example, used to be people say, "Oh, I love painting, but I'm not an artist." No, it's not only about the painting. Painting has a concept. It has some meaning with itself. This is what we work on that. And we have worked with a lot of artists in local and state, and especially local artists from all different, artworks. And yeah, so we have you now, Aldwyn.
Yes, yes. It just cut out suddenly. The beauty of live streaming
So
technology.
I like to invite people come and meet the great artists in the exhibition, in the opening, and make themselves familiar with our organizations and also the program that we have for March. So we have women and mental health, women and arts, and some other programs that people can join us. And although we take a step for 2 years during, when when Corona broke the world, for more than 2 years we were silent. We didn't have much activity. We still had, but not as much as we have now. But now we are going to have a few large to medium size of projects related to visual art, related to developing the stories for other program that it comes. We will announce them. And the good news is we have established the bulletin for our group, so call it Briggs. I don't know if you have seen it or not, but Briggs also give the all the information and the projects, and is we say we echo the voices of artists in local. And yeah, by joining to our group, as I said, free, just registering with us, they will receive the Briggs bulletin, and is not only about magic, also about the arts activities on the Gold Coast.
Yeah, fantastic. That's the Bricks newsletter. So make sure you subscribe on the GC Magic website, which we have in the comments. And here it is again, gcmagic.org.au. And I know this particular exhibition is self-funded. You've been working on it since November 2021 with all the artists. And I want to do a big shout out and thank you for the private sponsorship and support from Helen Saba, the Principal Director of NGU Real Estate in Brisbane. Big thanks to you, Helen, if you're watching this, for your support of this exhibition. And the group exhibition launch on March 6th will feature live cultural music and group dancing. There's going to be conversations, networking, artists sharing their stories. And guest speakers will include Rita Anwari Sultani, who's the founder and leader of Women Empowerment and Leadership, and also Miss Australia World Ambassador Layla Lowy, which will be fantastic as well. And I love your mission there for Gold Coast Multicultural Arts Group in collaboration. Our mission vision is for creativity, for community awareness and solution. Wonderful work you are doing there.
Aldwyn, I need to add something.
Yes.
On Monday morning, we received a phone call from Chart, which is galleries and museum, actually program offered by federal government. We received a phone call, and they said that they have funded it's a small fund, but they funded this program, Women in Conversation, especially for the online gallery.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
most of the year is the focus of that tiny, a small amount, but it's great that they acknowledge us, and this is the big success for us. It's really appreciated. As I said, is specifically for online gallery, goes to the IT team, but. I wanted to say, because before I didn't know, and I said that I didn't mention this one, but now I'm mentioning that here I thank chart. The program name is chart from federal government for galleries and museums.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Congratulations. That's
Yes.
brilliant. So there is
Because
some funding.
the office of Gold Coast Magic is in one art gallery. So
Yes.
we are part of the gallery. Although the management of the gallery is not with us, but we are part of the building, which is a gallery.
Got it.
So
Yes.
yeah, and also we said that we want to have online gallery because hopefully nothing like virus come again to the none of us, but always is good. We took a lesson that is good and safe that we have online gallery, and
Yes.
we don't definitely is not a charge for artists. I mean, is not a we are not a business or private enterprise. So and the charge compared with the other online galleries, it will be very very minimum, and it's just for updating the gallery. That's it, nothing else.
Yeah, got it. Got it. Fantastic. Well, that will definitely help. Every little bit helps. And some other upcoming projects to look out for from GC Magic this year is the Pomegranate Connections, Visual Arts, Photography, Videography Workshops Exhibition, Multicultural Fiesta, Digital Costume Presentation, Seminar on the Impacts of Arts and Health, NAIDOC Week celebrations coming up July 3 to 10, and an arts and craft market in November. So some wonderful projects coming up. And for those who want to see the Women in Conversation art exhibition, it is free entry for the group exhibition launch on March 6th. It is the gallery is actually open from 10 till 3 normally, Tuesdays to Fridays. And the exhibition, if you can't make it on March 6th in the afternoon from 3 or 4 o'clock to 7 p.m. Queensland time, then you will be able to see the exhibition up until March 23, 10 to 3 p.m. Tuesdays to Fridays, okay? And there are going to be drinks and nibbles, etc. at the launch. It will be fantastic. Always great networking, great people there, always attracted to GC Magic Arts projects. Now, we could chat all night on this topic. However, time is ticking on. So let's wrap it up soon. Is there anything finally you'd like to say, Nasrin?
No, I just appreciate again the artists who accepted the invitation and exhibit for the Women in Conversation. And it's a free conversation, open conversation, and it would be fun for everybody.
Wonderful, wonderful. I love that. Anything else you'd like to say, Gayle or Nafiseh, today?
No, not really. No, I'm just looking forward to it. I haven't. I've only just started exhibiting again since my illness, but so it's nice. It'd be nice to be out and actually exhibiting face to face, and meeting people face to face again.
Yes, it almost feels like a luxury nowadays when you go to a physical event, doesn't it? It's, we're so used to these online meetings. So absolutely.
right.
Well, looking forward to meeting you there too, Gayle. And Nafiseh, anything else you'd like to say?
No, I'm looking forward to see all the other artists and their artwork. I can't wait. And yeah, hopefully all our friends or whoever can join that day would be fantastic. So we can see everyone there and have fun. Thanks for today. It was so lovely.
Thank you.
Very, very nice chat.
Thank you so much for coming and for your time. And Melinda's just joined us. Hello, Melinda. She says, sorry, I missed this. Look, if you have missed it, don't worry, Melinda, because you can go back and watch the replay. We have streamed today to Facebook and to YouTube, to the Media Queen TV channel on YouTube as well. So you can go back over and watch the recording from the beginning. Melinda, great to see you here anyway. And for those who would like to attend, it is on March 6th, the group exhibition launch, once again at One Arts Gallery. Just have a look at the press release. This is the link for the press release, or just go to my website, aaxpose.com, aaxpose.com. Go to the news section. You will see the whole press release there. And no doubt we'll be in the media shortly as well. So keep an eye out for that. We'll be keeping you posted. Oh, Melinda's saying, oh, you're on now, lol, bit tired, been preparing wall to paint. Oh, well, there you go. You're painting. Good on you. Well, see, that's a form of artwork there too. Melinda is painting the wall, right? Maybe you could get creative with some of those colours. Fantastic. Oh, great to have you all here. Do stay connected. Also, check out gcmagic.org.au for all the updates. Subscribe there to get the Briggs newsletter and find out all the upcoming events. And connect with me here personally at linktree/Aldwyn. Love to stay connected on social media. And subscribe to the Media Queen TV channel if you haven't. Melinda's going bright orange. Fantastic, Melinda. I love it. Bright orange wall. That is very good for creativity, Melinda. You've come in just in time. We were talking about colours earlier. So well done. That'll be amazing. I'd love to see a picture of that when it's finished. Great work. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, ladies. All the best with the exhibition. I'm sure it's going to be very successful. And Melinda's saying, no, it's a shocker. Oh, you don't like the bright orange? Okay. All right, maybe tone it down a bit then. Hilarious. So this can happen with paint sometimes, can't it? You think it's a great idea initially, and then you put it on and think, no, well, that's the beauty. You can change it, right? Add different colours and change it around.
That's it.
Keep playing with it. Keep working on it, Melinda. I have total faith in you, Melinda. I know you can do it and create a beautiful wall at home there. Thank you so much, ladies. Congratulations. And I can't wait to see you at the launch. And everyone else who would like to join us, you're more than welcome at One Arts Gallery, Isle of Capri, opposite the shops there. You can't miss it. There's a park opposite the shops and the gallery is right in the middle of the park, and you can just park nearby. So we'll be there March 6th. Look forward to seeing those that can make it. Any other final words from anyone here with us today? No? All good? All right. Fantastic. Thank you so much. And as Gandhi says, be the change you wish to see in the world. And as I say, shine bright and light up all those around you. We look forward to seeing you over at the Women in Conversation group exhibition launch on March 6th and at some of the other amazing GC Magic projects coming up for 2022. Thank you so much for joining us, and let us know, what did you get out of this conversation today? Let us know in the comments, and let us know also, what are you grateful for today? Love to hear from you. What are you grateful for? That's an immediate way to shift your vibration and feel better about yourself. And I'm grateful for you ladies, I must say, coming on today. Grateful for GC Magic and the amazing work we've done over the years, and looking forward to many more great projects together. Thank you so much. Signing out now from Media Queen TV. Have a beautiful day or night wherever you are in the world. We'll see you again soon. Bye for now.